So in your book, you write about your time as a student at UConn. Would you like to read us a passage
You know,
about
I
that
would.
time?
I would.
Because I know you
flip through it.
you feature a passage about one of my favorite radio stations.
That would be a random station known as WHUS. Yeah, I'll read it. I'll read a piece. UConn is the star of this book. I mean, there really are 3 stars. My mom, Merrick Alpert in Colchester, Connecticut. My wife, Alex, and UConn. And UConn is the star of the book.
Not you?
No, it's kind of a Hemingway character, I'll read you one about the impact that this station made on me. The only background you need is that I lived in Keller House, and that Chris Nelson was my roommate. I'll read you a couple pieces. I came alive at UConn. It nursed me, revived me, saved me. It pressed into my fiber the realization that there is no difference between courage and the appearance of courage. Or as I would learn at UConn, in Ralph Waldo Emerson's word, a hero is no braver than an ordinary man, but he is braver 5 minutes longer. I'll read another little piece about HUS was so dominant in my life here, especially at night. And this is kind of a section on HUS.
What do you mean was?
Well, I'm sorry, that was a word. That was wrong verb tense. I mean, is, was,
continues to be.
That's
Yeah.
right. There's not even a verb tense that could describe the significance of this station.
Sorry, continue.
The nights were a blur of reading and highlighting, followed by the laugh fest Chris and I would have as we made fun of everything, most importantly ourselves. The noise of the hallway would give way to the late-night rhythm of WHUS, the campus radio station. The cries of a flock of seagulls, Depeche Mode, U2, The Alarm, Midnight Oil, Thomas Dolby, and a host of others filled our nights as we read less and talked more, and the night turned to the next day. Yeah, I mean, what's wild is that HUS has been with me all around the world. I'll tell you a story. When I got back from Bosnia, where obviously I'd experienced a whole series of things that it's life shaping. It changes it.
Mm-hmm.
When I got back with a buddy of mine, we put together a software company, a little software company. We built it up over years. We didn't get paid at first, and we put our life savings in. We built it up, and it worked, thank God. But one of the things, we started to travel a lot and license the software in Europe. And next scene, I'm there in Liverpool, and we're negotiating a deal with the WHUS, which is a trust, the National Health Service Trust, in that Liverpool area. And so one night, I thought, hey, I want to go see where the Beatles were, in the cavern. And so I walked down Matthew Street, and I'm walking down Matthew Street, and I look up over this door, and I remember the lyrics to the Alarm song. And I saw the Alarm at Spring Weekend, this HUS-sponsored Spring Weekend band. And I look up and see this sign over the door that says, 4 lads that shook the world. And I realized this is the entrance to the Cavern Club where the Beatles played all those years ago. And I thought, man, HUS taught me that. WHUS was there with me in Liverpool. That was just
That's cool. We're
really
still
cool.
doing it. We just we had like a special for John Lennon's birthday last
That's
Friday. Cool. See, you mentioned your time in Bosnia. Describe what you did there and what that experience was like for you.
Yeah, what I was there doing was I was attached to an Army Civil Affairs unit. I was actually in a helicopter unit at the time in the Air Force, but I volunteered and then went and got paired up with this Army Civil Affairs unit. And we were essentially overseeing elections, traveling through that nation, through that region, to help set up and oversee free and fair elections. And it was extraordinarily powerful in that, because here where we do everything by the ballot, there you would go in because somebody took a grenade and threw it into the opposition party headquarters, and in their world that's how you solve things. And you'd be sitting there through the interpreter saying to somebody, why'd you do that? Or sitting with, you'd have the dossier in your hand and you'd be talking to some mayor of a town. And this Serb mayor would be there smiling back at you and telling through the interpreter, oh, we had nothing to do with killing all the Muslims here. We don't know why they're not here. And of course you'd have the intel photos and everything else and realize, you lying bastard, I know exactly what you did.
Right.
I know why you did it. And I know you'd still be doing it if we weren't here. And it was hugely, hugely formative. That experience was magical. And I think that one of the reasons I'm so passionate about people getting involved is because when you watch people who had nothing, whose families were killed, whose lives were destroyed, and then you watch them do everything in their power to be able to go and participate in a democratic election. Right? You watch how powerful that was for them. And then you come home to America where so many people, they don't vote, they don't register to vote, they take it for granted, they assume somebody else is going to do it. That, for me, it's, you got to get involved. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, whether you're an affiliate, you have to get involved. Democracy absolutely and completely relies on you, not on someone else, on you. And having what societies which were just destroyed, because people didn't participate. They didn't step in and say, this is what we expect. It just, for me, the experience was really, really shaping.
I think that culture of corruption that you talked about earlier does a lot to repel people from participating
It does.
in the political process.
One of the things I hear all across the state is there's an enormously high level of cynicism. I think that people like Senator Dodd have betrayed us in many, many ways. One of the ways they betray us is by increasing the level of cynicism. When you go and get yourself sweetheart mortgage deals, when you go and run for president, when you're supposed to be a senator, when you go and put your wife on 5 boards of directors, and 3 of which you're supposed to be overseeing as chairman of the Senate Bank Committee, when you do that, what you do is turn people off, right? You sicken people through your action. And you know what they say, and I know this because they tell it to me, they say, they're all crooks, they're all thieves, they're all liars. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to vote, I don't want to be around it, it's disgusting. And so by turning people off, by increasing the level of cynicism, effectively what these career politicians do is guarantee their lock on power. Because let's face it, if you're Senator Dodd or one of these other guys who only knows Washington, the best thing in the world is if nobody shows up for the election.
Right.
You get to stay in the palace forever. But if people are educated and they show up and they're passionate and they're involved, you're done. And my objective is to bring that about.
All right, well, Merrick Alpert, thank you so much for coming in to talk to us today.
It's good to finally be in the gates of WHUS.
And Merrick Alpert will be at the UConn campus Wednesday, October 14th at 4 p.m. at the UConn Co-op doing a book reading and a signing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me. It's great.
Have a good one.